Hi, this is Jimmy Brown from Guitar World, and today I'm going to teach you how to tune your guitar the old-fashioned way using unisons and natural harmonics. Here we go. As I mentioned in the lesson for tuning using unisons, 5th fret method, etc., you want to get your reference pitch, your low E, either from an electronic tuner or a piano keyboard, pitch pipe, or tuning fork. So this method is really convenient because you don't have to reach over with your right hand. What you do is you're going to play a natural harmonic at the 5th fret on the low E string. Now to do that, make sure your finger is lightly touching the string directly over the 5th fret, not behind it. Normally when you fret a note, you put your hand in that little box between the frets, what's called behind the 5th fret. 1st fret, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th. When you play a natural harmonic, you touch the string ever so slightly, but you touch it directly over the actual fret wire itself. And then you pick it. You could use any finger you want. I usually use like the index and the ring or the middle. That's a high E note, okay? Now, to tune your A string off of your low E string, you're going to play that harmonic at the 7th fret, just directly above the 7th fret on the A string. But you're going to play the low one first. So you're going to hit this one. Now you have your unisons. And it's actually kind of easier to hear than when you're doing this, because it's higher pitch and it's a pure tone. It doesn't have harmonics itself. Whereas the fretted note and the open string have a bunch of other notes in the background. So here you got this E. You can let go of it too. That's a great thing about harmonics. Okay, now if it's out of tune, I'm going to throw this out of tune. And I'll pick both notes, let them ring, pick near the bridge, and then I'll scoop it up. Just like we did with the unison tuning, you want to listen for that pulsating sound, that fast pulsating. The further apart two notes are, the faster the pulsating. And the closer they get in tune, you're going to hear it slow down until eventually flatline. That's what you want. What happens if you overshoot it? You're not sure. You're going, I'm like, oh, wow, overshot it. So when in doubt, dump it back down and scoop up from below again. Okay, that sounds pretty flat. And then you're going to do the same thing to tune your D string to your A string. You're going to play the 5th fret harmonic on the A string. It gives you a high A note, and then the 7th fret harmonic on the D string. And again, you can take your hand off it, right? Now, say if I'm go sharp, flat, okay, you hear them as one, like flat line. Picture one of the heart monitor, right? Someone dies in the hospital. Okay, now you're going to tune your G string off of your D string. Same thing. You're going to play the 5th fret harmonic on the D string. That's going to give you a high D, and then play that. You get the same harmonic at the 7th fret on the G string. Scoop it down from below to take up any slack, if it's getting hung up at the nut or in a tuning peg. See, I overshot it. I'm going sharp. Scoop it down again. You want to try to get it quickly before the note dies out. Pick the string, pick the harmonics loudly. Okay, that sounds pretty close. Now, that method doesn't work when you're tuning the B string off the G string because of the way it's tuned. Remember with the 5th fret method, we had to go back to the 4th fret. I mean, you could play a harmonic at the 4th fret and then at the 5th fret, but that's mathematically incorrect. It's not going to give you the harmonics that we use in what's called the equal temperament system in Western music. It's going to give you an actual true major third. But an alternative way to do that is to play the 7th fret harmonic on the low E string and then pick the open B string. And that gives you a unison. So you got this harmonic, and you can go scoop up from below. So still you're using harmonics. Finally, to tune the high E string off the B, you go back to this method, the 5th fret and 7th fret harmonics method. Play the natural harmonic on the B string's 5th fret directly above, lightly touching it, picking it, letting go, and then now you can hear a little wah, 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 wah. That means it's out of tune. I'm going to dump it down. That sounds pretty close. Okay, now check it again. Sometimes the strings drift because you're changing the tension. It pulls in the neck. So check them again. That sounds good. Good. Mute. Sounds good. B. It's a little harder to hear that because you're comparing an open string to a harmonic. You could do this and do the harmonic at the 12th fret. It's an octave higher, but their two pitches are both harmonics, so they're going to sound more similar. And then finally, pretty good. And you should be. Sounds pleasing. And you know you're in tune, you're ready to rock.